Okay, today is the day before I leave for Antarctica, and I'm getting a late start at the National Park Tierra del Fuego because I had to transfer my bags from one hostel to the Albatross Hotel. Anyway, where we are now is where the top of those 8 icons are. You'll see a diamond, and that's the parking camping area, and I'm right there on looking at an island. Right where that diamond is, the lower diamond, I'm going to pan up. That's where we're going to be walking up to the left here, and if I feel like I'm inspired, I can come back and hit this intersection in the center and go to the east up to this halfway point, which in itself may be too much of a hike, so I may just go up to the left here to the Chilean border, which is where you see that typical boundary line, HITO XXIV. I would pronounce this Rio Lapataia. You can take your best shot. This is that narrow river, Lapataia or something river, that I'm looking across to Chile, to some pretty mountains that are slightly dusted with sunlight. A herd of black-necked swans. Large, beautiful birds. Got a bit of red on the forehead of the beak. Tire tracks of the animals. It appears that they're horses here, but then there's something relatively small-footed. See the lower right-hand corner of this frame, and it's a little bit more as we go along. There, an almost perfectly round track of some sort. And a remnant of perhaps an earlier flower, or at least a remaining seed pod. We're standing on the side of the trail. On the trail. They passed within 1.5 feet, and not a flicker of an eye, not a hello, nothing. Just a perfect example of the rudeness of the younger generations. But the one woman's 37. Hopefully they'll move on. Fortunately, there's nothing big around here that they can disturb too much. Just hope they go on somewhere. Listen to them. There's the lodge where I ended my hike yesterday. The sun is kind of out, which gives a nice view with the clouds and the sun occasionally. This is Lapataia Rio, or Rio Lapataia. Okay, I'm still near the hub of this camping and backpacker area. This is that little complex here. Some barbecuing meat smells really good. It's interesting to look at these trees here on this, what kind of is a flat, but it's not really flat. Here's some kind of animal, probably rabbits live. They abound in these areas. You can see that this is that soil, eroded, decomposed, what looked like slate that we saw yesterday. Okay, I've just walked out of the inlet where those people are. This is going to be a Disneyland experience. This is a major trail in the middle of the day with sun shining, but a beautiful view. This will be a nice long ride. You can see the spines here. When you rub up against this, you feel it. You feel the spines, you feel the leaves, but the spines in particular, and they're just about the right height. Then anything going after the leaves is going to clearly get the spines. They're just an interesting copse of trees. Notice this tree seems to spring almost horizontally out of that mound in the ground. Here, an ancient monarch that's fallen. And there, still standing one, but pretty worse for wear. You wonder if that's a woodpecker hole or just a hole that's created when a limb fell off at some point. If it's a woodpecker hole, it would certainly be the Magellan to be that large. And here, somewhat reminiscent of the bristlecone pine that has parts that are alive and yet parts that are clearly dead. Here, this one riddled by woodpecker gnawings. You wonder if that dynamic is the result, similarly, of harsh conditions. Similar, but without the spines, apparently. Tell me if this scene is not straight out of Lord of the Rings. The trees are holding a council in a circle, if you take note. And notice the layering on that mountain to the left. Looking at this jumble of trees, large trees that have fallen, I wonder if there's a connection to their having fallen with the changes in weather. In other words, how did they all get to be of such large size? In other words, have weathered so many decades, only to have apparently fallen when they were about the same size again, almost at the same time. can't be sure how recently these have fallen. Some a long time ago, but others, like that one, you can still see the growth of leaves on the ends.